What's up, you guys? So for today's video, I'm going to be talking about 10 different ideas, ways of thinking, philosophies, straight up reasons why you may be lacking in the musical department, or why you may find yourself stuck in a rut. Reason number one, you worry too much about gear and not enough about skill. So you're one of these guys that tends to spend way too much time on Musician's Friend, Amazon, eBay, any Facebook groups where you're trading instruments up and down, and you worry too little about actually working on the woodshed and working on your skills. Fact of the matter is, yes, gear is important. You need specific gear for different situations, especially if you're in the studio. But if you have no skills, then what's the point? Without skills, gear is worthless. Reason number two, you're lazy. You don't practice enough. Or maybe you just practice what you like. Problem with this is you tend to get stuck in a rut a lot. You're not practicing new skills. You're not practicing what's important to become a professional. If it feels like work, you just plain old don't do it. And probably you're one of these guys that tends to practice a lot of physical stuff, like practicing scales or speed or learning songs, but you don't work on the mental aspects of it. You don't practice harmony and theory. You don't practice your ear training. You don't practice anything that has to do with the mind instead of the body. Okay, so don't just learn new songs, learn what makes them work. Learn about your instrument. Learn what makes your instrument work. You get what you earn. Don't expect results if you're not putting in the work. Reason number three, you have a huge ego and you already think you know everything. Fact of the matter is, you don't. No one knows everything. The other thing is you're actually hurting yourself by thinking like this. Okay, you're hurting your results and you're hurting your learning curve. Okay, you have to have a white belt mentality. What I mean by this is you have to be excited about learning, and you have to be open about learning from just about anyone out there. You can learn anything from anyone. Reason number four, you think more is more, or you think less is more. The mentality behind this thought is you think more is more, where you're playing way too many notes, when you play a lot, and you're only practicing shred up and down, with the excuse that speed is everything, that speed is the most important thing in music. This often results in a lacking sense of melody and a lacking ability to create rhythm guitar parts. The other thought bubble here is less is more. The usual thought bubble behind this is that feeling is more important than technique. The actual truth is you need both, and most of the people saying that feeling is more important than technique don't have any technique. They don't spend enough time in the woodshed to get enough technique, to get it cleanly enough to be able to play faster stuff. The fact of the matter is you need to be able to do both. You gotta have a good sense of melody, and you gotta be able to play clean technical stuff as well, so that you can get more gigs. The key is in the balance between both of these worlds. You gotta be able to do both, and you gotta be able to play what's necessary for the different tune or song or arrangement or whatever it is that you're doing. Reason number five, you don't take enough responsibility for yourself. You tend to blame others. So you blame your gear, you blame your band, you blame time, you blame your job, you blame the government. But the fact of the matter is you're not taking time and you're not applying yourself enough to get to what you want. You're not working enough to get the results that you want. You and only you are responsible for your skill level. Reason number six, you don't practice low enough. Now, a lot of people tend to practice faster than they need to. A lot of people tend to play faster because they don't want to get bored. Now, the truth is, you want to learn something right and correctly the first time around, and it's probably easier to do this if you practice the different passages a bit slower. It's easier to learn something right the first time than to learn something incorrectly and then unlearn it so that you learn it right the second time around. The second reason for practicing slower is you don't want to hurt yourself. If you practice way too fast, you could hurt yourself. You could develop things like tendonitis, carpal tunnel, and other RSIs. For example, I have tendonitis. I've had it for about 8 years. And I have carpal tunnel, which I've had for about 2 years. I had to learn this lesson the hard way, and now I'm definitely slowing down a bit. Reason number seven, you don't use a metronome. Now, this is definitely an important thing to do. You got to practice with your metronome. Why? You're going to get screwy with your timing. Secondly, if you go into a studio, you're going to take a lot of time to record whatever it is that you want to do. It doesn't matter skill level. It doesn't matter how hard the songs or tunes are. If you can't play in time, and by time I mean with a click, then you're just going to waste time in the studio. The other thing is when you practice with a metronome, you develop a natural sense of timing. And this comes through all of your playing. By practicing with a metronome, It'll definitely develop a better sense of timing. Your playing will sound more professional. Reason number 8, you have no passion. So a lot of people want to look like they're passionate about different things. It's actually in style to be passionate. A lot of people just want to fake it and want the image of being passionate about their work. But in reality, they're not putting enough time. You don't really sacrifice anything for your goals. You have to sacrifice time to hang out. You have to sacrifice time to party. You have to sacrifice time to go into the beach. And you have to work on your goals to get the results that you want. If you don't really sacrifice anything, don't expect to get any goals. Real passion is an obsession. Reason number 9, you don't use your ear enough. So by this, I mean you don't listen to enough music, you don't use your ear to transcribe, and you don't learn enough by ear. A lot of guys think that learning by ear is something primitive, that it was something that people did before YouTube, before instructional videos, before the accessibility that we have now with the internet. But that's not true. The true masters learn from other masters. You have to sit down, listen to what they're playing, learn how to play what they're playing, and learn to apply what they're playing. Reason number 10, you think theory hurts creativity. This is definitely not true, and this is something I hear constantly. Creativity is only stifled by yourself. Okay, harmony and theory are tools to be used creatively. They're just tools. It's not something magic that will ruin the way you think or the way you create your art. Another good thing about knowing harmony and theory is you get to know the rules, and you have more ways, more efficient ways of breaking the rules. If you don't know the rules and you try to learn the rules on your own, you're just wasting time. You're just wasting time that you could be using creatively to find out things that are already known so that you can then try to create something out of it. Once you know theory and once you know how to read and write music, it's easier to learn from others and it's easier to communicate with others. The more you know, the more you can do. So don't let any of these 10 reasons hold you back on your musical journey. You gotta accept, adapt, and keep moving forward. You gotta learn something new every single day. You gotta read, you gotta study, you gotta keep pushing, you gotta keep learning. You gotta keep working towards the results that you want. It's the only way that you're gonna grow as a person, as a human being, and as a musician. Alright, so that's it for this video. Hope you guys liked it. Follow me on Facebook for constant updates. You can follow me on Instagram where I post just about every other day. You can follow me on Twitter where I post every single day. I put up the musician tip of the day. You can find that as hashtag musician tip of the day. And you can follow me on my official website, juanantoniomusic.com, where I put up weekly blogs. Alright, thanks for watching.